The Grand Council chamber of the Kathrani Compact had weathered 1,000 years of debate, war declarations, and diplomatic collapses. Its crystalline walls had absorbed the shouting of 100 species. But nothing in its long history had produced the silence that now filled the room. Councillor Riven stood at the central podium, staring at the holographic display hovering above him. Red battle icons swarmed around a small blue-green planet on the projection. The Zargothi Dominion, one of the oldest, most militarily disciplined empires in known space, had just declared war on a species barely 300 years into spaceflight. "Say that again," Riven said quietly. "Because I don't think I heard you correctly." The Zargothi ambassador, a towering figure encased in dark ceremonial armor, did not flinch. "The Dominion has authorized a full invasion fleet against the planet designated Sol 3, Earth. The operation begins in 6 of their days." A ripple of murmurs spread through the assembled counselors, beings of chitin, of light, of shifting liquid metal, all staring at the same absurd notion. Celera, the council's chief strategic analyst, rose from her seat. Her pale violet skin seemed to dim slightly, a sign among her people of genuine alarm. "Ambassador, with respect, Earth has no standing fleet capable of contesting even a single Dominion battlecruiser. Their entire military doctrine is built around planetary defense, not interstellar warfare. What could possibly justify committing your forces to annihilate a species that poses no threat to you?" The ambassador's optical sensors flickered, something almost like discomfort passing through his armored frame. "The Dominion does not expect the Council's understanding. Only its non-interference." "Non-interference," Riven repeated, voice flat. "You want us to sit back and watch you commit genocide against 8 billion sapient beings who have done nothing but exist." "They have done more than exist," the ambassador said. "You have not seen the reports from our border scouts." Solara's eyes narrowed. "What reports?" The ambassador hesitated, then gestured, and new data flooded the display. Grainy sensor logs. A Dominion scout vessel, cloaked, monitoring a region of asteroid debris near Jupiter. And then, chaos. A human mining vessel, unarmed by any measure the Dominion recognized, had somehow detected the cloaked ship despite technology centuries beyond anything Earth possessed. Not only detected it, the humans had disabled it, boarded it, studied it, and released it 3 days later with a message carved, quite literally, into the hull in Morse code. "Nice try. Come back when you're ready to say hi properly." The chamber went dead silent again, this time for an entirely different reason. "They found a cloaked reconnaissance vessel," Celera said slowly, "using technology 2 centuries behind galactic standard." "Yes," the ambassador said, something like a growl beneath the word. "And instead of destroying it, or reporting it as a first contact incident to this very council as protocol demands," Riven added, "they disabled it, studied Dominion tech, and sent it home with a joke." "A message of contempt," the ambassador snapped. "An act of open provocation." Riven almost laughed. He caught himself, but only barely. "Ambassador, I don't think you understand what just happened. Your scouts got caught with their sensors down by a species that shouldn't have been able to detect them at all, and their response wasn't fear. It was sass." Celera pulled up additional data, cross-referencing older, dustier files buried in the Compact's threat assessment archive. "There's precedent," she murmured, almost to herself. 2 independent incidents flagged by the Veziner merchant fleet 11 years ago. Human vessels intercepting distress signals in contested space and responding, without authorization, without hesitation, to rescue stranded Veziner crews from a pirate raid. They didn't ask what species the survivors were. They didn't check jurisdiction. They just went. "Reckless," the ambassador said. "Or," Celera said, "indicative of a behavioral pattern this council has badly underestimated." Riven turned to the ambassador fully now, his 4-fingered hands braced on the podium. "Let me guess the rest of your justification. Earth's scientific output has been climbing at a rate your analysts find destabilizing. Their expansion into their own solar system happened faster than any of your projections predicted. And somewhere in a Dominion strategy session, somebody said the word precedent, and the whole room got nervous." The ambassador said nothing, which was, in itself, an answer. "You're not attacking Earth because they're weak," Riven continued. "You're attacking because you're afraid of what they'll be in 50 years if you don't. The Dominion does not act from fear, the ambassador said, too quickly. Everyone acts from fear eventually, Celera said softly. The question is whether the council will let you turn that fear into a massacre. The chamber's speaker, a slow-moving, ancient being of stone-like plating, finally stirred. The compact charter is clear. Unprovoked assault on a charter-protected system triggers automatic intervention rights for any member state willing to respond. Earth is not a charter member, the ambassador said. They have no formal recognition. They don't need formal recognition, Riven said. They fall under Provisional Protection Statute 12. Any pre-contact species discovered by a member power is automatically granted 90 galactic years of non-aggression protection, while diplomatic status is established. Your own scout ship's presence in their system proves you already initiated contact protocols, which means Earth has been under provisional protection since the moment your vessel entered their solar system, whether you filed the report or not. The ambassador's armored frame went rigid. You never told your own leadership you'd been caught, did you? Celera asked, understanding dawning in her voice. That's what this is really about. Not fear of what Earth might become. Fear of what happens when the Dominion's own high command learns their scouts got outmaneuvered by a species with duct tape and stubbornness. You are speculating, the ambassador said, but his voice had lost its earlier certainty. Riven straightened, addressing the full chamber now, his voice carrying to every corner of the ancient hall. Counselors, I move for immediate emergency intervention under Statute 12. I move that the Compact deploy a peacekeeping deterrent fleet to the Sol system within the 6-day window before the Dominion's invasion force arrives. And I move that this council formally open first contact proceedings with Earth, not as a favor, but because a species that can catch a cloaked warship with what amounts to improvised sensors deserves a seat at this table before someone decides to burn them off the map out of embarrassment. A long pause. Then, one by one, the counselors began raising their assent markers. Chitin clicks, light pulses, the soft chime of liquid metal beings shifting form. The vote tallied faster than any emergency motion in a generation. The speaker's voice rumbled through the chamber. Motion carries. Compact forces will deploy to the Sol system immediately. Ambassador, the Dominion is hereby ordered to stand down its invasion fleet pending formal review, under threat of full Compact sanction. The ambassador said nothing. He simply turned, armor plates hissing, and left the chamber in silence. Celera exhaled, some of the tension leaving her shoulders. That was closer than I'd like. They were never going to win that vote once the truth came out, Riven said. Nobody wants to be remembered as the empire that tried to wipe out a species for the crime of embarrassing them. Do you think Earth even knows how close this came? Riven allowed himself a small, tired smile as he watched the tactical display shift. Compact ships spooling up jump drives, angling toward a small, unremarkable, brilliantly stubborn blue-green world. Honestly, knowing what we just learned about them, I doubt it would scare them even if they did. Celera studied the projection of Earth, glowing faint and defiant at the center of the display, utterly unaware that an entire galactic council had just spent an hour arguing over whether it deserved to exist. Humans, she murmured, almost fondly. They found a stealth ship with scrap metal sensors and left a joke on the hull. Statute 12 exists for exactly this kind of thing, Riven said. A species too young to know the rules, too stubborn to care, and too dangerous to underestimate. Outside the chamber, the fleet began to move, not to conquer, but to stand between a fledgling world and an empire that had, for one brief and humiliating moment, been the ones caught off guard. And somewhere in the asteroid belt near Jupiter, a human mining crew clinked their drinks together, utterly oblivious to the war they'd just talked their way out of with nothing but curiosity, grit, and a very good sense of humor.